at the request of John Mounts, who's a big subgun guy, otherwise known as Eric. I haven't called you Eric in a while.
I know. I didn't know you got the new crew. You got their information. We're definitely gonna reach out to them and see if they can help us some DMT stuff.
Yeah,
They're pretty good dudes.
oh yeah, they're good guys. Eric was a real creative guy. He was a shitty businessman. Which is common for those people that generally, you know what I mean? Let me know when you want me to turn this on.
Go ahead and try turning it on now. I'll turn up the volume.
It should be on now. Yeah. There we go.
You got both on there.
Yep, sure do.
How about that one?
Yep.
Symbols, 1, 2, symbols. 1, 2. How's the people at home doing? Are they, anybody getting anything right? People on
Two people so far.
I know there's a lag still.
Yeah, if they get the question even after we get to them, so.
Ask Instagram if there's audio.
Instagram is their audio. Can you hear me? Anyone, Bueller?
Okay, so it comes right out.
You can gauge how old Smith is.
We got thumbs up.
That Bueller comment. Is only
Oh, that's a classic, man.
It is, I know.
I consider myself that old, Larry. Slow
Anyone,
down.
Bueller? Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So what's the deal on this one? Is this the grand prize?
That's our grand prize.
Okay.
That's a sock seagull.
Oh, man. Excellent. Got some good subgun questions coming your way.
Doing like Eastern Bloc.
We're gonna do a variety of stuff, historical, a lot of historical. Let me know when you guys are ready. Somebody's phone's underneath here. So what do you guys, what you've seen at SHOT Show, what do you like the best? What's your favorite thing? Oh yeah? Do you know Surefire has a new bolt carrier complete? It's designed specifically for suppressed weapons, particularly full auto.
Is that that thing in the case that they have? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, it's broken
Yeah.
out.
Get it.
Here you go. Here's guy GR3G said I put a Vickers sling on my pistols if I could.
God bless him.
That's some true fans right there.
All right,
The Vickers lanyard?
we are live. So you guys can start
A
whenever you're
two-point
ready.
lanyard?
All right,
That's what you should invent next, Larry.
we're live, ready to go.
Cool. We ready?
Excellent. You guys hear me? Everything good to go?
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody live and everybody on Instagram for joining us. Last day SHOT Show. It's a pretty relaxed day. We will make it fun as always. Cool. We will state that Blue Force Gear is not a equal outcome supporter. So if our gentlemen in the front keep getting the answers right, they're going to keep getting the prizes. So that y'all just better step up your game.
Yep. I'll try to throw you some to get here. So this is a subgun day. The topic is submachine guns. We're going to go all over the map with historical, design, all over.
Okay.
So you want to do this one first?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Again, with the slings here, the ones that we brought were slings that are either have been discontinued or that are a little bit harder to get. I figured it just makes it a little bit more interesting. There are some of the regular slings too, but I'll kind of explain each one here. So this is the padded Vickers sling, great for the G3s, heavier guns, 308 guns, and this is foliage green. Foliage green has recently been discontinued. And it has metal hardware, so it has steel tri-glides and a machined aluminum adjuster. So still works, still has that same quick adjust feature on it, but just a lot harder to get.
Okay, we'll start out with one here. MP38, MP40, two of the most famous submachine guns in history. Iconic submachine guns. What is the primary difference between the MP38 and the MP40? Walking the dog. MP38 milled receiver, machined out of basically a steel tube with lightning cuts, and the MP40 had a stamped sheet metal receiver, simplified production. Correct. Well done. All right. Next.
Cool. This is the Vickers sling in black. Black seems to be the most popular commercial color that we see through the gun shop. So I like all the different pattern ones, but hey, you got a black rifle, black sling, everything works.
Cool. Okay. Mikhail Kalashnikov had a submachine gun that he felt was the best submachine. It was his favorite. It was the best submachine gun of World War II. And actually, he has a strong argument for that. It was a very, very good gun. Kind of flew a little bit under the radar, a little bit. Very, very good design. His opinion, it was the best submachine gun of World War II. And I would say he was probably right. What is it? PPS 43. Look at this guy. Somebody had better pick up their game. Yes, the PPS 43. It's a very good gun. Very kind of overshadowed by the PPS H41. The PPS 43. And I'll have a follow-up question for you on that. The PPS 43 is in many ways an excellent gun. In many ways, certainly one of, if not the best submachine gun in the world too. So what do you want to do next? This one.
Cool.
Just Trey from Instagram said throw it in.
Oh, I see that. I wish we could. Some guy said like yesterday, throw it at the camera. So this here is the standard issue Vickers sling. We used to call it the NSN sling. So this is the issued sling with the HK416, the M27 IAR that the Marines have adopted. It is a Vickers sling, except it has loop locks, which is a little different attachment to the gun, and it has a quick release on the back. So if you're in vehicles, around water, airplanes, you can quickly get out of it by just grabbing the buckle, taking it right out here. So this is it in the Coyote Tan. We have over 300,000 of these in use across all branches of the service. The Marines being pretty deep in them as well.
Okay. MP5, HK MP5. I would argue HK's most famous product. I mean, numbers-wise, you could certainly say they made more G3s. When you think of H&K worldwide, the first thing I think of, and I'm sure most of you guys, is the MP5. What was the designation of the MP5 prior to it being adopted as the MP5? Essentially, their internal designation. What's that? Or Project 54, either way. You got it, Bob. Well done. Project 54 or HK 54, yes. And then what HK does when their gun is officially adopted, it then takes that official designation. G3 is a good example of one.
That's the military.
Yes, P7 or whatever. Once it's adopted in that format, MP7, then it takes that on. The commercial designation kind of goes away. All right. Although that would be interesting. I don't. If they did that with the HK416, because the HK416 has been on the market for so long as the HK416. It has been adopted in limited numbers by German special operations, but the German army hasn't adopted like they did the G36. So let's say they did adopt the HK416, would they then switch over? I think it would be dual. It would be marketed dually because it's been established for so long as the 416. All right.
This is a 2-to-1 Vickers sling. So if you guys ever got this dilemma, do I want to run single point, do I want to run 2-point? You run both with a 2-to-1 sling. So it uses push buttons on both sides. So as long as you got the push button sockets in your gun, you can switch from 2-point to single point. So this one is also padded and in OD green. Very cool.
All right, what is a submachine gun often called the Rolls-Royce of submachine guns? It's made before World War II. All right. extremely well made. I did a video on it. It is commonly referred to as the Rolls-Royce of submachine guns.
Is it the Thompson?
Exceptionally well made gun. No, although early Thompsons would definitely fit in that category. What's that? No. MP34. Did a video. I got a video on it. All right. What we got? Well done.
This is also a 2-to-1 sling, but this is unpadded and in black. Again, awesome sling.
Okay. Name a primary difference between the Mark II, Sten and the Mark V Sten are the most, prolific versions of the Sten, even though there are other ones. Those are the two primary versions. Name, let me back off that a little bit. The flash hider's one. Well, dude, pistol grip. Anything else? Stock. Here, give me this. Bob, you can have that. Yes, stock, pistol grip. Okay, for this, you see some with the vertical grip, but a lot of times you don't. And if you use the vertical grip a little bit, you find out why. Even though it's very controllable, it has a real deficiency on the Sten MP, on the Sten Mark V. Does anybody know what it is? Anyone? What's that? No. Anybody know if you use it? No. If you shoot one, what happens is you have a tendency to get into it, and you kind of torque into it. It'll start to undo and unthread the barrel mount. That's why you don't see it. Because most guys are right-handers, obviously, not left-handed. And they work great. I mean, they're real controllable. But you have a tendency, let's face it, shoot, you kind of do this number, and it'll bust the barrel mount. So that's why. Yeah, you should have made it to the. So, okay.
Cool. Last of our slings here is the 2-to-1 sling in black, but with the red swivel. So the red swivel is really neat. A lot of people think, well, I don't need emergency release on my sling. I have the push buttons. Well, if you're got gloves on, it's cold, it's dark, you're upside down, you're underwater, that little tiny button all of a sudden gets really hard. So the red swivel, think of it as like a pull button. So it's got a little tab on it, so you just take it and pull it right off just like that, and it'll release the sling. So when you're not needing an emergency situation, it makes it really easy for the 2-to-1 conversion, because it's just real quick. You can do it one-handed, put it into the back of the sling, and you're ready to go. So unpadded, black, again, awesome sling.
Good deal. Grease gun. Unsung gun, actually for a combat weapon, much better than a Thompson. Primary manufacturer of the grease gun.
Guide lamps?
Who said guide lamp? Guide lamp. Well done.
What was the answer?
Guide lamp. Guide lamp division. They made headlight housings. Guide lamp division of General Motors. Guide lamp, correct. Okay. What do we got here? Final grand prize.
So here is our grand prize. This is really cool. This is one of the cool products that's been around since before I even came on board. This is the sock seat belt. So this is like a modular padded war belt. So it's fully compatible. Great thing about this is it will fit everybody here. It's not sized. You can adjust the belt and size however you want. It also has suspenders on it, so if you've got more stuff on it, it's not going to weigh it down. It's not going to, when you're running, it's not going to be falling down. This is going through a redesign, so this is also on closeout. So this is one of the last of them. So
okay,
make it really good. No softball.
Oh, it's a good one. This is not a softball.
Make it a multi-part, kind of like on the game show. You got to get the first one and then the follow-up.
Okay, sure. Okay, it'll be a two-part. The Sten gun was inspired in many ways by the stamp sheet metal MP40. Flipped to the end of the war, 1945, the Sten gun, the Germans copied the Sten gun. All right, what was the designation of that submachine gun? Okay. Yes, MP 3008. Name the primary difference visually. Do we have a prize for him? Yes, MP, the magazine well is downward instead of to the side. We'll get you hooked up with something as well. MP 3008. Very rare submachine gun in the United States.
He had him.
He did, so we need to hook him up.
We'll get you after.
Very crude. And one of the theories is one, there just wasn't that many made, but the other theory is one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of those lash-ditch German small arms is because if a GI can bring back a P38 or a K98K or a Luger or whatever, why would he take this crude, you know what I mean, piece of junk? And that's the theory why a lot of that stuff didn't make it back. So the MP 3008 is it. Very much looks like a Sten, except magwells on the bottom. It takes MP 40 mags, by the way. But for all the world, it's a Sten. Cool. Excellent.
Your favorite 3 submachine guns all time?
MP5 would definitely be number 1. I mean, that's the roller locking, the closed bolt roller locking mechanism makes that gun very controllable. Open bolt guns, there's a bunch of good ones. MP40 is one of my favorites. The Sterling is a very good gun. It's very controllable. One of the downsides to that era of submachine gun, like the Walther MPK, Walther MPL, the Beretta M12, which would definitely be another one of my favorites, Sterling, is they have rifle peep sights. So when you get on them, the peep sight's too small. So all those guns, yeah, you really need to take a drill bit with an 1/8" drill, and you know what I mean, to open it up for a ghost ring. That is huge with all those guns. Grease gun, same way. Grease gun, the aperture's too small, so you need to drill it out. But MP5 would be number 1, and then beyond that, MP40, you know, Beretta M12, fantastic gun. Sterling's a really cool gun. There's a lot of really good guns that fit in that category.
Another cool Eastern Bloc stuff, like Polish PM63, RAK, nothing.
You know the PPS H41's cool, but it's very high psychic rate of fire. It's really, also the drum magazine, to be honest with you, is not very reliable. From my experience, the 35 round stick mag was a far better mag. Drums in general are to be avoided. And they're also, you can have 2 stick mags, you know, are super reliable, that basically the same amount of ammunition as the drum. So if the drum goes down, you're done with all that ammo, whereas a stick mag you can swap out and reload. So, you know, there's a reason why the Russians kind of went away from drums after the RPK. Questions, anyone? Bueller? I'm around here till 1 o'clock. The Stechkin? Cool gun, it's a machine pistol. It's a cool gun. I got a video coming on it, by the way. Filmed it when we were visiting S&B in the Czech Republic. They had a Stechkin, and we lit it up. So I have a video coming on it.
Is there any questions from Instagram?
Yeah, is there any questions from Instagram? We're looking at the live feed here.
From Instagram.
It may take them a bit to get some questions.
A little delay.
But for everybody here, we have the LAV cards. Get your autograph. If you want all these slings, you can get the slings autograph too. So when you're at the range and you're like, oh, nice Vickers slug, and then you flip it over and be like, yeah, did Larry sign yours? Yeah, no, he didn't.
Excellent.
What about the A90 versus MP7? Which do you prefer and why?
Both calibers really. This one mic died. You know, 5.7 is really like 22 Win Mag. 4.6 is really like 17 HMR. So you need to understand that caliber-wise where you're at. Yeah, they can put a projectile in it that pierces body armor and whatnot, but that's the lethality you're bringing. You need to understand that. That being said, I prefer the MP7 over the P90. In terms of the gun, yeah. In terms of the gun itself, in my mind, for what it's designed for and that caliber, it is a better approach than the P90.
You know it's going to get all.
We can switch.
P90 is almost like a boat launcher, and they're like, oh, we got to find a way to have someone hold it. You know, here's a block of plastic, throw some.
You know, I was talking to HK at one time. They were looking at, you know, because NATO at one time was looking to try to adopt a standardized PDW caliber, and they felt like, well, FN had to lead, you know, because FN's got a lot of horsepower in NATO. On top of that, they were out with the 5.7 before HK. So the theory was that they were going to get adopted. They were looking to do the MP7. They were going to actually develop the MP7 and 5.7 if it came down to it. The big issue they were having, they were not real wild about it at all. As it turned out, NATO didn't make a decision on either. They were like, yeah, whatever. it didn't really go anywhere. So that's why you still see both calibers in use. But the 5.7 case is straight walled. It's a straight walled case. And you know, if you think about the P90, it's a blowback gun. So that's why they did that. Well, the MP7 has a multi-lug rotating bolt. And a straight walled case is not really cool for guns like that. So they were not relishing the task of having to develop that gun in 5.7 based on the case design.
The Army has a new submachine gun program they're looking at. What do you think is going to be the top competitor for that?
You know, B&T is in really good shape there. Because that's one thing that the guy who runs B&T, he's been a subgun guy for the longest time, you know, so he's been developing different subguns when everybody else is kind of, so now this Army solicitation comes about and they got a few different guns to choose from. I don't know. It remains to be seen if the Army's going to follow through with it, or if it's going to fall through the cracks like so many other Army programs. I mean, think about everything that's been done in the last X number of years that the Army never follows through. So it would really remains to be seen if in fact they end up picking one and adopting it and fielding it. If I was a betting man, I'd bet no. Somewhere along the line, somebody will get their panties in a bunch, or what, they'll take the money away, and it'll be just another bunch of money thrown down the tubes. And they've done that over and over and over in the last 20 years or so. Actually, before that. So we'll see.
Is a better submachine gun than the MP5?
It's an updated gun. You know, that's what you see with the MP5. Great gun, but it's difficult to upgrade it. HK's done it, but they mainly made it flat dark earth. But there's like really no good way to put a bolt hole open device on it. Mounting an optic can be problematic because you got to be able to get over to the other side, or you got to be able to lock the bolt back. So the MP5 is a great gun. It's still my all-time favorite submachine gun, but it is a little bit. It kind of paints you in a corner a little bit. You know, there's only so much you can do with it. Whereas if you're starting from scratch, you can bring AR ergonomics into the equation. You can do a lot of things that the MP5 really can't do.
Thoughts on the new CZ Scorpion Evo 3?
I really don't have any time on it. Yeah, I really don't have any time on it. I'd like to
Did you
get
see
my hands on it.
see the Nairobi thing where the guys behind the wall is the SES guys going in? He's got a Scorpion.
Does he?
He does.
I didn't see that.
I'm a big fan. I like it. I like it over the MPX. I know that's not very popular.
Well, this is a softball for you, but that dude, the SAS dude rolling in over there, what was he carrying?
There's the L119.
Made by?
Colt Canada.
Colt Canada, yes. Telltale sign is if you look underneath his hand on the forearm, there's a little stop tab, like a little, where the grenade launcher goes up against it. If you spot that, you immediately spot it's in the bottom there, monolithic rail. Yep. And I knew the SAS used Colt Canada, so I already knew that, but if that's, you can identify it from that. Cool. Thank you very much for coming, gang.
Yeah.
This guy walked the dog again.
Does he need to get on camera? Does he need to come around here and get like?
Oh, yeah. Hey,
I'll
see,
email you about the thing.
you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can do it. Yeah, he can do an online store selling stuff. Thank you.
Thanks.
Cool.
This one.
Can you say you sign off on Instagram? Say,
Yeah, well, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.